Fancy. You need a spoon?
How would a spoon help? Very unhelpful in this. Let's see if it's easier with my right hand. No, it's not.
Should we ask for different? This is for like dainty young ladies. But I
haven't been a dainty young lady in a long time.
Look at that.
This is way more doable.
Yeah.
There.
There we go.
And now, boom, like a real person.
So I'm going to do a magical podcast with my friend. And you also know, because you have guests on your show, that it's also, there's like a certain energy that...
You can have a back and forth.
We can have back and forth. And so it will be like myself, my friend, and a magical guest. So it'll be like a threesome. So it'll be like a triplicity sort of energy.
It's a better way of putting it than like a threesome. I mean,
Your mind went there, not mine.
What else do we use that for?
Something that's in threes. Hello everyone, Chaweon here.
And Anthony. What? There's nothing weird about this. What the?
That was not natural.
What do you mean it wasn't natural? I did it very naturally.
No, you did. You're like,
and Anthony.
This is going to be the second of these music reaction videos that we're doing for Mondays. This week, we are going to react to what video?
This week is Drake's God's Plan video. This is a pretty big deal because
it is a big deal.
It became a meme in the last few weeks or the last week or so. And it's a huge thing on Twitter and on Instagram now. God's plan. God's plan. My favorite one is when you go to the register and your meal is like $10.30 and you only have $10 and the cashier's like, don't worry about it. It's God's plan.
My favorite one was where the girl's just like, oh, you nutted in me and I'm not using birth control. And the guy says, you can keep it. And then it's Drake. It's God's plan.
Regardless though, so this was one of the songs that Drake put out, I want to say a month or so ago, that and Diplomatic Immunity. And yeah, we hadn't had much out of Drake since More Life. So what a lot of people think about Drake is that either he's like this incredible MC, like he's inventive, he puts all these different people on, which is true, but also that he is something of a culture vulture who kind of eats off the plates of other rappers. And I'm not going to say it's true, but
you can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, so I look at Drake as being misunderstood. And the first person to really call him out was probably Earl Sweatshirt. And it popped up because Drake shouted out Kodak Black. This was before a lot of people knew who Kodak was, and Earl said Drake can be a bit of a vulture. The idea is that, are you actually putting those artists in a better situation, or are you just further bettering your position?
Or yeah,
right? Are you doing it for them or for yourself? And so the thing that Earl said was the line between paying homage and wave riding is a blurry one, so it's hard to tell which one he's doing. But this video is interesting because it's clearly meant to be wholly positive, but there's still some people who are going to find something negative in it. Drake is a superstar now. He's a celebrity above your average rapper. Like, he hosts major events. Drake gets a better look because he's got a more kind of, I'm going to say it, like, it's more acceptable from white people.
He's more clean cut.
He's light skinned. He
was on Degrassi.
Came from Degrassi.
Canada.
I mean,
Canadian.
Ignore the fact that there the occasional situation of misogyny in the music. There's a lot of real sad late night phone calls to strippers, but you know. So that's the first important part of the video. Is
That's
that
stupid.
what are you mad about already?
I don't know. I don't like it when people say stuff like that. It's like the self-congratulatory. We got $1 million, but we're gonna be like super awesome and give it away.
That's what the entire video is about. This is all happening in I think North Miami.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure why Miami would be the area that Drake would choose. I'm sure you could do this in Toronto. I'm sure people in Toronto need it, but Florida is the kind of state that does go through some things. So.
Ooh, Helvetica.
I'm sure Drake feels at home in Miami too.
I like the font. It's very
How do you focus on the font?
I don't know.
So he buys out a grocery store.
Okay,
So
that's
everyone
pretty
in the
cool.
grocery store gets whatever they want.
That's cool. Who's this girl?
Some girl.
Oh, that's nice. You gave the scholarship. Drake has really big teeth.
This is the thing that you focus on.
Sorry, but I just can't help it.
Well, the idea is just to look at all of the different charitable things that he's doing in this area. Obviously, I think seeing someone hand out scholarships is amazing.
Of course.
I have no idea how he's choosing who to give these scholarships to or what have you, but
Right.
it's still special to give.
Is he
somebody.
holding a wad of cash?
It's not a lot. It's like 2 or 3 stacks. An obnoxious amount of money to hand somebody. I'd be real uncomfortable if somebody handed me that much money.
I'm worried I'd get robbed.
Don't ever give me that much money in hand. I feel like I'm gonna go to jail.
Hey,
The IRS is gonna see this.
hey, that's that mean part. They're dancing in a mall?
Yeah, people are dancing along.
Oh, trope. I like that dance he does.
You look like a cat trying to play with a ball. People just see him roll up out of nowhere and lose their minds.
I would probably do what she
I'm
did.
giving people heart attacks. You know? How come this huge family gets so much less money than the last?
I know,
The
right?
last family.
Cute baby.
How do you separate this? Activity.
Look at that random white dude like, I don't want to be in this mosh pit.
The best thing about this video is it has nothing to do with the song. It's wholly unrelated to the song. That's why it's funny that you listen to the song before watching the video. You're
Yeah.
like, this song is dumb. I
I
can't stand
have-
this song.
This song makes no sense to me now.
Oh, it's not related. But you still get all this positivity around Miami. But it feels kind of weird to me though, because I still don't understand why Miami.
Right.
Like if you just wanted to do something altruistic, like sure, like that's cool.
Maybe Baltimore, right?
I mean, you could choose anywhere. There's no shortage of places that need help.
That's
There's
true.
places where people struggle. I just wonder why Miami would be the one. But the thing that I do wonder about with this video is that what some people end up being concerned about is the exploitation of impoverishment.
Yes.
And so, like, how is Drake represented? I don't feel like there's anything really negative in the representation of the people he's helping. I mean, like you said, it's one of those things where you could do all of this on your own and like not make a music video and put it out to the world.
Yeah.
But I also think the idea behind this is to try and inspire other people to do charitable things. And that can work. I mean, it's not inspiring me, but by all means.
That's nice. You got somebody a car. but can the guy afford the insurance and the gas?
Look at you, being all responsible in your thinking. Then you get these shots of just like people.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
seems
what did Drake give
gratuitous.
these people? Or this dude?
Like this
especially
guy, this
dude.
trope, you know? Oh, better go.
And what did Drake give my man there at the end?
We're making a $25,000 donation for the after school program, which we're really excited about.
How much do you bet? Like most people, they don't even listen to the song. They just see the video, and they hear God's plan, and they think the song is about something like this. Like it's God's plan to help everybody who's poor, you know.
Yeah, no one would think that because the song isn't about that.
But nobody's listening to the song.
Well, not when you're watching this video.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm saying, the video came out over a month ago, so most people had already heard the song. So you had a different perception of the song. Like there's a line in the song that everybody knows. Everybody knows this one line. And she asked me if I love her. I told her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. So everybody knows it has nothing to do with this video.
There's something super gratuitous about this video that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I think a lot of it is, first of all, when he had like that stack of cash behind his back, that was purely for show. He could have just as easily written the check. That's one thing, but wasn't there a part where he was just like, I'm going to pay for your shopping spree? Not at the grocery store, but at that mall or something like that? What was that one part?
I don't think that was for the entire mall. I think it was for like one person in particular.
It was for like a certain sort of, like, I think it was a young woman and her mom or whoever it was.
But I mean, that could be buying you a professional wardrobe so that you can, interview for jobs, or maybe you're starting a job where you have to dress professionally. You don't have that kind of attire.
That could have been, but that's not the impression that I got. It seemed more like treat yourself, you know what I mean? That made me feel a little bit, there was a sort of materialistic bend to this.
But do you know if that's what it was, though? You can't judge them on an assumption, right?
This is my cynicism coming out, but it's like, just like when I saw the car that young man received, I was like, that's very nice. But Drake, are you gonna, it's just like when Oprah gives all those gifts to people during Christmas, it's like half the people can't bring the gifts back home because we have to pay taxes on it. So it's for show. Who's gonna pay for the insurance? Who's gonna pay for the gas? To me, this is gratuitous. It's showy. I don't know how deep it goes, and that's what makes me uncomfortable.
I can give you that in the car. That's a weird kind of gift to give somebody in the first place. I mean, that kind of car.
Yeah. It's just all about the show. It's just like the Oprah thing, You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. But who can actually get the car? I'm wondering how much of this is for real, because again, going back to this concept of Drake being a culture vulture, and being a culture vulture it smacks of insincerity.
Right.
Like, you don't really love the artist. It's not like you knew them. It's not like you followed them from the time they were like young. But now that they're starting to get hot, now you want to jump on that, like, I knew this guy just before he blew up sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, is that what we're seeing right here?
I tend to give Drake the benefit of the doubt in a lot of cases, just because it doesn't necessarily come off to me as scheming.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when you see Drake with other artists or celebrities, he fanboys out a lot. Like, he loves doing that. I honestly feel like there are times where Drake is just like this kid from Canada who just loves hip-hop and loves meeting guys who have this really cool style or way about them, and he wants to be involved.
There's something about the ostentatiousness of charity. It's such an oxymoron. And something about that just smacks me as being insincere, because the moment that we start to question whether or not somebody's being sincere about the charity that they're giving, that makes me wonder, like, why am I being cynical? Like, I'm not somebody who's just going to be cynical just to be cynical. I think it's because if he is already being accused of being a culture vulture, and there are some times where I was just like, Drake definitely, I'm not saying he is or he isn't, But I do have to say that there were times where I felt as though he wasn't the most original. You know what I mean? But he knew how to ride that wave, for sure.
Yeah.
We were talking about last time how David Bowie's the opposite of that.
Right.
David Bowie gives zero fucks about waves. He does whatever the fuck he wants, when he wants, and he's an icon.
Mm.
Drake, probably not in the same category.
No, I think Drake,
He's a pop star.
He finds different things. Like he did that with that like Afrobeats vibe that you got a lot on Views, and I think on you got it a bit on More Life too. But I think he recognizes what's cool and he just gets involved with it. And he does.
So he has good
he
taste.
does it. No, he definitely has good taste.
Okay, that's important.
He does it somewhat in his own way, but also he knows what's really palatable. He knows what is attractive about different styles and works it to his benefit. That's the easiest way to put it.
And I will say also about the song, I don't think this is one of his stronger songs.
In what sense?
The story wasn't as vivid as other stories. Like, I think one of Drake's strengths is that he's able to tell. It's kind of like what Eminem was very good at as well. They're able to tell a narrative. Kendrick Lamar, great at telling narratives, great at telling stories. Frank Ocean, Drake is very good at it. Eminem's very good at it, right? The fact that they can tell the story and set it to music, I think, is a great skill. This one, it didn't have that same narrative.
I mean, Drake isn't that much. Drake can tell a great story, but that self-aggrandizement is really more.
But he
his
does it.
themes.
But he does it while he's telling the story. You know what I mean? So, and just like how Eminem, he would, talk of the same sort of misogyny while telling a story. So that kind of made him different.
It hasn't been Drake for a while. Like those last two albums, More Life and Views aren't as much about the storytelling as they are about just situational tracks.
I don't know, for whatever reason,
Or
I always thought that, what's that song that he, Hotline Bling?
yeah, there's no narrative in that.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
There really
There's a
is.
narrative
There's a
in Hotline
narrative.
Bling?
Oh my God, there
You're
is.
trying too hard.
No, there is. There is. There's definitely a story.
Because a girl is now talking to other people instead of him. It's not narrative.
Oh, it
She's
definitely
being really
is.
self-conscious.
No, there is a narrative, okay?
I'm
There's a
serious.
narrative, and that song was actually kind of touching, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was.
All right. That's
Bad
not
thing.
true. Paul Boy never made a song about
Well, okay,
the stripper who
not the
isn't with you
stripper,
anymore.
not
I'm
the
just saying,
stripper.
Drake makes a lot of songs about strippers. We're not going to solve that today.
Yeah, we're not
Let's go on to something else.
Okay.
There's a music video that I love
Mhm.
that I feel does a really great job of depicting an impoverished area without at all feeling exploitative. That is Juvenile's video for Hot. And Juvenile is just this huge thing because so you have these people coming out of the projects in New Orleans, you have Magnolia projects, and people have lived poor for so long. And Cash Money just kind of took off. Like, it happened
It did.
so fast.
Boy, you playing with that ball?
Then won't you find something
Tell me again.
Every time I come around your city, bang, bang. Pick it right word about bitty, bang, bang. Balls bent, leaves the crowd.
I'm the number one stunner. The number one stunner. I'm a good child. Jesus. Ain't got no job, but I stay shy.
What you need for?
I need a hot girl.
What you want for?
I want a hot girl.
What you need for?
I need a hot girl.
What you want for?
I want a hot girl.
And Juvenile was really the spark plug for it all. Like, you wouldn't end up with the Hot Boys, you wouldn't end up with Lil Wayne where he is without that combination on 400 Degrees of Juvenile and Manny Fresh. That album is forever timeless.
Remember when Back That Ass Up came out? That was huge. As soon as that came out in the
Not
club,
in 2000.
as soon as that came on in the club, like all the girls would just be like, "I know where I'm going on the dance floor." Yeah, like I remember this was like the first album that this boyfriend of mine bought me. He was just like, he was trying to get back together with me, and he was just like,
We bought you a Juvenile
so
album?
we bought me a Juvenile album. And I remember listening to this song, Ha, the one that you chose, for us to react to. And that was the one song that I didn't know the name of it, like off the top of my head, and I would call it, you know that song where he just puts ha at the end so he doesn't have to make it rhyme?
He still does, though.
Yeah.
He still rhymes in his song. He just puts hot there. These
But-
are all questions. Posing a lot of questions.
But
Got
that's
some
kind of
musical genes
genius.
on.
But it's kind of genius. I was just like, okay, that's how you get
They
it.
pay your child support, huh?
Yeah.
You can play the video.
Ha.
Play the video. There's so much that's different in what somebody else might try to do with this video, where you can tell, like right in the front, the Juvenile, like knows these people, like people know him,
Yeah.
that he's embraced by people, and it's like you get the good and the bad, but in such like an honest depiction, to where it doesn't feel like he's like making money off of like joking on these people. Like, no, these are just my people.
Yeah.
This is just what this area looks like. And
Right.
you don't just see, you don't just see dudes fighting in the streets, kids, you see medical workers, you see families outside of buildings, like this is where we live. It's like, I'm not saying that we need pity or anything like that, because also, it's Ferrari. But still, at the same time, like, this is just what it looks like over here. There's something really real and authentic and just respectable about the way that he does it. You see everybody.
Why did you choose this video versus going back to, I don't know, something from NWA?
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off.
This is what I grew up on. I didn't grow up on NWA. I didn't have that at the time. But no, Cash Money caught on like right around the time I hit middle school, and it was easy for me to get hip hop. Like NWA would have been like way too far before. My parents weren't letting me listen to that anyway.
Tell us.
I had no choice.
Did they let you listen to Juvenile?
I mean, at that point, you didn't really have a choice.
Ah,
It's a lot harder to stop me.
right.
But like NWA was putting stuff out when I was like a baby. It really worked. Just like imagine, like you bringing these cars to your neighborhood where nobody's ever seen these before in their life. It's not like, hey, I just bought this car for you. It's like, nah, it's like, hey, check it out. Like, this is what it looks like. Like that's what's so interesting in comparing this to that Drake video. It's like, yeah, look at these people. It's like, you know, they're living fine. It's just how life is. And it's like, I'm gonna help some of them. Juvenile's just like, nah, this is what it is. Like, just take a look at it. And it's an unflinching look. Like, at no point is he trying to, like, blur anything out. He's just showing you exactly what people's lives are.
Maybe Drake, he seemed like a tourist going into neighborhoods versus Juvenile, he is part of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing that I always wonder about. Like, you have these places, like, you have Houston, you have Atlanta, and Drake can, you know, roll up in all the clubs there, but is he actually known by the people who live there, known by people in communities? Or is it just like, oh my God, it's Drake?
Right.
But it's not that for Juvenile. Like, Juvenile, like, he came up in all of this. That's why I wonder, like, why Drake wouldn't do it more local, like, more home to him.
Didn't Drake grow up in the suburbs?
Yeah, somewhere, I don't know exactly.
I guess it's not as dramatic.
But there's still, like, you know that there are going to be, like, impoverished areas in Toronto that he could go to. So you can still find them.
But
Like,
maybe
there's still kids who need to pay for college. Like, there's still,
that's true.
you know, families who are having a tougher time. But, you know, Canadians got it a little bit different.
That's true. I mean, they've got that great social blanking out right now. What am I saying? That social safety net. What happened to Juvenile, by the way?
Juvie's still around. He doesn't really do that much anymore. One of my friends, she lives in DC, and she says whenever he's supposed to be doing shows in DC, he just doesn't show up. Juvenile had such like a meteoric rise, and then like it stalled because he was burnt out. Like it went up so fast, and like he got right back in the studio. He just outworked himself, and then Cash Money turned all his focus to Wayne. And that's pretty much what it's been ever since. I mean, this is one of the videos that really ignited that. I used to call it a trope. These videos like Welcome to My Hood, but
Yeah.
there aren't that many that did it in this way.
Yeah.
And still to this point, like I don't think there are many people who can do it in a way that Juvenile did it.
So the video that I chose was Common People.
I love him.
I know. So for me, this song when it came out, it was such an anthem of like the working class in Britain, and also tourists, like people who want to be friends with the working class but don't really understand because they have the luxury and the privilege of going back to their comfortable life if it becomes too uncomfortable, if it becomes too ill. This is so late 90s.
You know, I've never seen this music video before. It's no song.
Is this guy Jarvis
Jarvis
Cocker?
Cocker. Love him.
Yeah.
It's so weird and sad.
He gives zero fucks.
It's a really small mouth.
And a really huge head. Unusually tall, too. Didn't he go on some British award show? He got super, super drunk and Michael Jackson was performing and just came out on stage and sneered.
In the blue anorak, Jarvis Cocker was ushered into Kensington Police Station through Michael Jackson fans, still angry at what they view as an insult to their hero.
What did he do? I remember
He
hearing
was
that
just
story.
drunk and he just came out and just made a complete... He had a Kanye moment, but it was like a cool Kanye moment.
I need to know. He mooned the crowd? What?
I would be surprised.
Oh, like waving his butt and
But
lifting his
clothes...
shirt.
Oh, but it's covered butt, right?
He interrupted a performance of Earth Song, which is an amazing song.
Cocker had been on police bail since he jumped onto the stage during a Michael Jackson performance at the True Brit Awards. Police had been investigating allegations that several children on stage at the time were assaulted.
But it's basically like, who does Michael Jackson think he is? Which kind of applies to this Drake video.
Yeah?
Did you realize that at the time?
No, I didn't. I just saw the message of this video.
In this scenario, you're Jarvis Cocker and Drake is Michael Jackson. You're like, Drake. I think he's saving the world. It's you.
Whenever he performs, I smile. He's like a little kid. Get up.
Those little kids.
Yeah, right.
Or wore someone on to hold his hair. I love this fight scene. This clapping is terrible.
Alright. Slightly offbeat.
Oh man. He's trying.
This is him trying to dance. So cute.
Not great.
I love how in the song he turns on that girl. Like the girl in the beginning, he's just like, yeah, you're hot, I want to sleep with you. But then he like totally turns on her towards the end.
Because no one wants to be like someone's like project or
Right.
their, I don't know, mascot for the impoverished,
Their token
the working
war boy,
class.
yeah. So,
Nobody ever wants to be that.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the token.
But in a way, he also uses her for a Coca-Cola and sex, I guess. Maybe.
For whatever reason, even though the Drake video was supposed to be super uplifting and very positive, I kind of feel drained by that video. I just figured out what it is that bothers me. The most touching part of that Drake video was that part where he has a sack of cash, right? But the emotional reaction of the mother and her son, right? And when Drake puts his hands on top of the guy's head, almost like fatherly or like big brotherly.
And on his back.
And also his head. Also
On
his
his
head.
head?
Yeah. Kind of like, you know, like, I'll take care of you. You know what I mean? That was touching. Like, to me, that seemed real. But there was less focus on that and more focus. It was almost equal amount of time given to him with the, hello, I'm Santa Claus with this cash, as there was time spent on the emotional reaction. It would have been nice to know, like, hey, you who's like putting all the toilet paper in your shopping cart. Why? What's your story? Like, there were definitely parts where
Oh, now you're interrupting the music video.
there were parts where Drake interrupted himself.
You have a
really,
right
too.
to know what they're doing with their toilet paper, though.
Listen, I buy like 50 rolls of toilet paper at a time on sale. So I totally
Yeah, I
get
don't
it.
need to know that.
No. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because actually this is an economic exercise. Okay, so I read this article not that long ago about a lot of people say, well, you know, poor people, they wouldn't be so poor if they were smarter, if they bought toilet paper in bulk. And it's like, bitch, they can't afford to buy toilet paper in bulk. They have to buy it one roll at a time. And that perpetuates the poverty cycle because, yeah, of course everybody knows. You buy 50 at a time, you're going to get toilet paper for a lot cheaper, but you simply cannot spend $50 at a time on toilet paper.
Mm.
You have to pay $3 each time. They have no other choice. So I think probably Drake and his director didn't know this, you know, and maybe they did. But to me, that was a very symbolic scene. It's like,
But you're not going to ask them about it. Like, you made that connection on your own.
uh-huh.
And you're supposed to.
Well, that's what I wanted to know.
Like, you want to stop the video and be like,
No.
you see, poor people can't afford 50 rolls of toilet paper. But now they can have, like, no, like, now it becomes too much.
Well, he could have created a narrative that showed the poverty cycle and that, listen,
Man, you are asking a lot of Drake. You're asking so much of a rapper who's just giving away money.
he's giving away money because he wants people to know that he gave away money. He's not doing it to highlight poverty. He's not doing it to highlight the poverty cycle or anything like that. He's doing it because he wants everybody to be like, Drake gave away $1 billion. He could have made a video. He could have hired somebody to make a wonderful video highlighting, kind of like the Juvenile video.
What would you want Drake to do with this video? Because what he set out to do was show that we gave away $1 million and we benefited people who needed that money. And there you go. Like, that's what it was. It wasn't meant to be a documentary about the effects of poverty.
It was a documentary about Drake and how awesome he is for giving away money. That's what the video was. It was, Drake is awesome. That's the video.
That's what Drake videos are for.
And that is fine if he's just talking about, you know, whatever, his strippers and whatever. But as soon as it becomes like, here I am, savior, giving you money, then it becomes sort of like, ew.
Maybe.
Then that becomes a little, he could have done the same sort of giving away the money and put a little bit more, you know, and this is what, I shouldn't be surprised that Drake makes videos like that. I should be surprised because, I mean, the songs that he has have the same sort of like very like solipsistic, sort of like me sort of mentality. So why am I even surprised, right? But
You have turned on Drake so abruptly.
not
You
that I'm,
were all like, I love his narratives, and now you're like, why am I surprised? Of course Drake does this.
why am I surprised? Like
Switched
seriously.
up so hard.
I think in this video, unlike the previous one, we have different opinions about the Drake
But
video.
you're just way more passionate about this than I am. I'm just like, yeah, it's a video, that's cool.
Well, I'm just a little bit more disgusted by it. I think that's what it really is. More like,
It's a
ugh.
lot.
Well, you know, just kind of like put off by it. So, I mean, would you give this Drake video a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Give it a thumbs up. I'm happy for those people.
Yeah, I'm happy for those people too, but I would have to say it's a thumbs down for me. And also, I don't think the song is one of Drake's best. So.
I like that song.
Yeah. So, just overall, it's just not that great. But what do you guys think? Who do you agree with?
Drake saying they're gonna come and get you. Good luck.
We're still trying to figure out what Anthony should do with his beard.
No, we not. I know exactly what I'm doing with my beard, leaving it the way it is.
So yes, we're crowdsourcing like your next move with the beard.
No, we not.
We kind of are. And also, if there's any other videos that you would like us to react to, definitely put that down as well. Okay guys, see you next week. Bye.
I've been moving calm, no sign of trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful, it's a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. and call.